had a problem. There was a witness in St. Petersburg.
How reliable are your sources?
Impeccable, as always. Interpol has arranged the pickup. Will you intercept?
Yes.
Uploading data.
We're going to be going over a game zone in TRYHACKME. First thing we need to do is just acknowledge and deploy the machine for task 1. It says this room will cover sqli, exploits vulnerability manually and via sqlmap, cracking user's hash password using SSL tunnel to review a hidden service and using a display payload to gain root access. So it says display the machine, done. What is the name of the large cartoon avatar holding a sniper on the formula? So that's going to be Agent 47. If you've watched the Hitman movies, you'll be able to find that. Otherwise, what we're going to do is we're just going to deploy this machine real quick. I'm going to open up Chrome, and once it gives me the IP address, I'll just input it so we could take a look at that. All right. All right, so to find out what's the cartoon avatar's name, what I did was I just took the picture here and I just saved it to my computer. Afterwards, I did a reverse search, like they mentioned to do reverse search. So if you do reverse search, reverse image search, and you could choose any website, just upload the file, open, give it a second. All right, once it's done loading, you click on the image and then it'll pull up some more information about that image. If we scroll down, just looking at this image, they mention Agent 47 right here. If you do your own research, you'd know that's Agent 47. So it's not very difficult to figure out that answer. All right, let's look at task 2, obtain access via SQLi. And then it gives you some commands here you can run for SQL injection. So if we go back to the site here, I just put in the IP address. Then what we're going to do is we're just going to enter commands into the URL so that we can get the information we need. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this pre-selected command I have here. I'm just going to throw it here in the, we'll just put that, in the search box. Yeah, we'll do it that way. So for login, you can try. Okay, so if you do the quote space or space 1 equals 1, which is always true, and then dash dash space dash, right? So if you don't do the space dash, then you won't be able to move on here. So we'll just put that into the login field here and then press enter. And then now we have access to the game zone portal. So now once we have access to the game zone portal, then we're going to run a command here. So we'll try running. Okay, so here they're teaching us a little bit about SQL, some commands that you can run to select from users table where username equals admin and password equals, and then you would receive that information. And then here's the command that we ran in order to gain access to the game portal. So we could just click question done on those. And as for the SQL map, this doesn't require that we open up burp and we utilize SQL map. All right, so let's go ahead and do this next portion here. I'm just gonna go ahead and open up Burp real quick. Okay, so I'm opening up Burp on my computer here. Right, next, start Burp. I'm using Chrome, so I'm gonna have to use Firefox for this next portion. Open up Firefox. Okay, there we go. All right, and then we're just gonna put the command that we ran earlier here. So we're gonna replicate it again. All right, we're in. Now we're going to start the interception. Okay, and then we're gonna just type something in here, like test, search it. And then here, we can see the search item was test. All right, so then we're going to save item, request.text. You can see I have a request.text here. I'm just gonna name it the same thing, request.text. Save it. Yep, that's fine. Okay, so now we know where it's at. That's on my desktop, SQL injection. Okay, good. All right, I click forward, so it forwarded that. I'm gonna go to my desktop here, and I'm just going to look for my SQL injection folder. All right, give me a second to look for this one. All right, I found the request.txt. I'm gonna right click, open terminal from here. You can just open up the terminal from wherever you save the file. Next, I'm going to run sqlmap. So let's go ahead and try running sqlmap against that. Okay, I'm gonna put the command they provided. Enter, it's running. We'll give it a sec. It's gonna actually try to automate SQL injections. So essentially what it's doing is it's just entering a bunch of SQL injections here and seeing if it could get any information from the database table. And if it is able to grab anything, it'll then provide that information here. So I'm just gonna click Y on this one. All right, we'll give it a sec to do its thing. Okay, so after it ran, what I did was I just clicked Y. So it asks here, post parameter searchable items vulnerable. Do you want to keep testing for others? I click Y. The backend DBMS is MySQL. And then it says here, do you want to store hashes in a temporary file for eventual further processing with other tools? I clicked Y. And then when it asked, do you want to crack them via a dictionary-based attack? I clicked Y. And when I did that, it then tried to I guess crack it or whatever. But most interestingly, it shows the database and there's a table with called users. There's one entry in there and the username's agent47. So that's what we need here, right? What's the username associated with the hashed password? So we got that. And next it's asking what is the user table, what is the hash password? So looking right next to it, you can see a hash password. So you can enter that in for the answer right here. What was the other table name? Okay, so let's see if we can find that. Oh, here it is. Post. All right, post. So you can enter post here. Okay. And next it's going to have us crack the hash password that we have. So it tells us to use John the Ripper, and we're gonna use the rock U to then crack the hash. And then it's gonna ask us what's the password once we've dehashed it, I guess. So why don't we try that real quick? And if you take a look here, it says writing hashes to temporary file temp, and then it provides you this location for the temp file. So if we were to go to that location, and you would see it in our temp file. So let me go to my temp file, temp. You would then see my SQL map here. Or at least you should. Yeah, here it is. So here's the folder. And it looks like inside of that, you have your hash. So then what we can do here is we can actually open a terminal from here. Would probably be the easiest method. And then input the commands ls and pwd so we can see where we're at. All right, and then I have to then create a command based off of that, which I will put in the comment section for you. And I'm also going to take this command and copy it so you guys can run it. In case you're running into any issues, you know, sometimes we forget our commas and stuff, then we find ourselves sitting on a screen for an hour asking ourselves why. Been there so many times. So I'll go ahead and copy this. All right. Just replace that. Bam. There you go. All right, so I got all the information I need here, so I can go ahead and run John against this file here. So I've got sudo John, the path to my word list, rocku, format, SHA-256. Based off just the size of the hash, you can tell what type of hash it is. And then MySQL map, and I guess that's the file that it put the temporary hashes in. All right, so I'm gonna press enter, and then I'm gonna put my password real quick. All right, so I ran that command. The first time it didn't show me anything because I've already cracked this hash before, but if I just altered the command without sudo, it then ran it just because John thinks it's a different command, but it's really just the same command. And it looks like the password is videogamer124. So now that you know that information, you can go ahead and copy that into here. All right, so done here, you know it's 256, you know the password, what is the user flag? So now that we know this information, right, what can we do next? Well, we can try to, I guess, like SSH. We'll do an mmap scan to see like what ports are open. All right, I'm gonna run my nmap default script command here, and then I'll just give it a second. All right, so as we see, we have SSH enabled. So let's go ahead and try to SSH into this box here. So SSH, and then the name, which is agent 47, which we know from the database table dump 171.67. Oh, actually, sorry, wrong IP. So I was looking at my previous notes. 67.101. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so I make notes. I just document all of it on OneNote. Highly recommend that you do it. Just document your TRYHACKME notes on OneNote. And that way, if you run into this issue later, or maybe you find yourself, you know, trying to do some SQL, at least you have the commands here, and you kind of remember what you did last time. So we'll go ahead and try to SSH into this one. Yes. Password. So we input the video gamer 124. Of course, I mistyped that. I'm pretty sure I mistyped that. Okay, let me try that again. There we go, I'm in. All right, cool. So we'll just go ahead and copy that as well, so we know what to do. Okay. All right, cool. So now that we're in, we can do an ls, and we can see there is a user's text there, so we can try catting it. And then there's your flag. So we'll go here. It's not the right one. Here we go. So I'm just gonna input my flag here, and there you go. Crack the hash, it was easy. All right, so next we're going to be using exploiting services with reverse SSH tunnel. This part got me a little confused. Honestly, I didn't know what to do. And it's just really confusing, right? Like what are we doing here? So let me try to explain this. I have my little notes here. So let's say I try to connect from my host A to host C, but there's a firewall, so this is a no-go. I can't do a direct connection from host A to host C. So to circumvent this firewall, what you do is we must use host B as basically a proxy. So our data will go from host B and then let's say on to port 4321, right? And when it goes to host B, the traffic goes on port 4321. It will forward it to host C. Okay, so host B forwarded to host C using a reverse SSH tunnel. So effectively, we are circumventing this firewall by having host A connect to host B, basically using it as a proxy, and then sending commands to host C. And host B will forward that traffic via reverse SSH tunnel. So that's basically what's happening. And TRYHACKME, honestly, their diagram's really confusing. So I hope that really helped. Now let's go ahead and do this. All right, so next we're gonna run the command ss tulpn. All right, and we can currently see that the port is blocked. All right, so next what we're going to do is we're just going to SSL okay, so we're going to utilize the other computer as our proxy. Okay, so let's try that. So let's just open up another terminal. And then we're going to run SSL -L 10,000 local host 10,000 agent 47 and then add the IP address 10.10.136. Okay, try that. All right, that didn't work. Let me try it again. Oh, I don't know why I put SSL. It's supposed to be SSH. All right, there we go. All right, and then we'll put in the password that we had earlier. Was it a gamer? Video gamer, yeah. Video gamer 124. All right, we're in. Okay, so next thing we want to do is we are then going to utilize our local host. So for my computer, I'll access that port. So I'm gonna go to Chrome. Dang it, local host 10,000. All right, and that brings me here to this login web bin, where I will then input agent 47 video gamer 124. All right, and now that we're in, need to save that. Then we're going to notice that we're using Webmin here, and the version is right here. So you'll need that to answer some of the flags here. Let me just pull that up. Okay, here we go. So how many TCP sockets are running? We see 5. And then second question that's asking is, what is the name of the exposed CMS? It's Webmin, right? And what is version 1.580? Okay, cool. So now that we know that, we are next going to be using the CMS dashboard version. Use Metasploit to find a payload to execute against the machine. Okay, so let's try that. So go ahead and open up another terminal in a bit. To MSF console. And we'll just give that a second to open up Metasploit. Boom. All right, cool. So we're going to search Webmin. Just going to bring this up a little bit higher. There you go. So if you need to pause it, you can look at the command. Search min. All right, and then we're going to use 0. Remote code execution, command execution. All right, so we got that. We're going to then type help. And it's going to tell us what we're going to need to input. So let me do show options. See, some fields are required, passwords required, the R host is required, and such. So let's go ahead and input that information here. Set. Set user. Set password. Video gamer 24. Right, and set payload, and we're going to want to use the Linux payload. Unix actually. Unix reverse. Okay, Great. And then set our host. So that's the remote host, the box we're attacking actually. We'll set that to 127.0.0.1. That's actually our local address. Okay, right, because we are trying to get access to the console. Okay, gotcha. And then we're going to set our port 10,000. Okay. And let me just set the SSL to false. So as you see, this is a required field, so you have to input it. We're just going to input false for that. And then we're going to do the owl host, which is going to be set here. Six. All right, so that's going to be our ton0 IP. Let me check my ton0 IP here. So I'm just going to go with this. I have config ton0, and we can see that's the IP address for my ton0. Come on. All right, grab that. Copy, paste. All right, and we're going to set the out port. Five, five, five. Okay. All right, we're gonna exploit. Oh, did I not put username? Oh, okay, so it requires username, not just user. That's why that didn't work. Okay, hold on. Let me set that real quick. Okay, and then we ran the exploit against this web app. We're gonna give it a second, see if it gets us a shout. Looks like it did. Pretty cool. Give it a sec. Try typing in it. There we go. Okay, so we got a shell. As you know, Metasploit shells are not like the best. Like, you know, well, they're default shells. So let's just go ahead and cat the root flag. So cat root.text. And there's our root flag. So now we have the root flag here. Just copy that and paste that into whatever is required at this point. Right here, root flag, boom. So we use Metasploit to run exploit against that web app there. And we had to input some fields there. So it looks like that worked for us. So hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe. I'll create more videos for you. Currently going through TRYHACKME. I'm hoping to finish up their OSCP like little course that they have. And after that, probably run on to the red team room. That one looks pretty good. All right. Have a good day. Bye-bye.